Hello, it's Elizabeth in Paris. I'm walking down Avenue Foch, which is the street where I live. I'm on my way to the gym. I need to do some weightlifting. And so I thought I would take you with me as I walk over. The closest gym to me, because I'm a member of Basic Fit, although I've learned that if I tell a French person that I'm going to Basic Fit, they have no idea what I'm talking about. I have to say Basic Fit. So the closest Basic Fit to me is on the Champs-Élysées. So I'm going to walk along Avenue Foch to get to the Arc de Triomphe, and then I'm going to turn right and go down to Basic Fit. But I guess the thing you have to understand is that, like, I really try to avoid the Champs-Élysées. Elizabeth has unpopular opinions. I try to avoid the Champs-Élysées, so I'm going to go a different route and then just kind of sneak over to it at like the last minute. So yeah, I guess, so I've been here in France for about 6 months now. I've lived in my current location for about 3 months now. And I guess I just wanted to like give you a check-in. It's still really weird. It's really, really weird because like I live, so Avenue Foch, I don't know if you've looked it up, but it has a Wikipedia entry that kind of explains. It's like lifestyles of the rich and famous. But of course, I live in a tiny little studio apartment, 12 mètres carrés, so I have 12 square meters. And you know, like, I don't have a Lamborghini, I don't have a Porsche, I don't have a Ferrari. I see them all the time. I have like a rundown city bike that I got off of the French Craigslist, Le Bon Coin. And I, you know, have to keep it outside because I don't have the right to like put it in the garage. And I've got like a gray plastic house for it, you know, which is all torn and like repaired with duct tape, and like the pigeons like to sit above it and crap all over it. So there's like my vehicle, right? And like next to, you know, any number of high-end cars. So like it's really common for people here in France to like ask where you live, because you know proximity is pretty important. Like if you want to befriend someone, it really helps if they're in your hood. And like I've found that if I'm talking to an expat, it's no big deal. I can tell them where I live and they don't know. And so they don't react. But I've learned that when I have to tell a French person where I live, I've like turned it into a whole comedy routine. And they're like, so hey, where do you live? And I'm like, first, it's not my fault. And they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's not your fault? And I'm like, well, I'm a foreigner. And it's really difficult to get an apartment when you're a foreigner. And so you're really obligated to take, you know, the apartment you can get. And they're like, oh, okay, all right, so where do you live? And then I lay it on them. And I'm like, Avenue Foch. And then they roar with laughter. They think it's really, really funny. Because they know what it is, right? And so then, you know, I keep the comedy routine going by describing my beat up old city bike and, you know, the pigeon poop on my bike house. And yeah, so that is usually really effective with French people, like sharing the information with them that way. where do I want to go? I think I want to cut across over here. That's only one part of what I wanted to say to you all today. Let's see here, what else was there? Oh yeah. I guess like, it is heaven though. I mean, I might only have a tiny little studio, but I've learned that I really don't need any more space than that. It's more than enough for me and Dharma. And I guess I am still trying to get used to the grandeur of this place. I mean, the street is unreal, right? Like, I'm heading towards the Arc de Triomphe right now. Yeah, so like, it's true. It's a bit unreal. And it's still just having a hard time believing that I live here. Yeah, it's still in pinch me mode. I really love that it's like a quiet neighborhood. The architecture is just really outstanding. There's just so much to do. I'm pretty close to everywhere I want to be, so things are going great. That said, the Champs-Élysées is not my favorite place. Really not my favorite place. So here I'm like actually going to stop before getting to the Arc de Triomphe, and I'm going to turn off. I'm gonna turn off because like I really want to avoid the Champs-Élysées as much as possible. Now, okay, so this is the thing, like it's a super famous street, lots and lots of tourists, and I guess like I usually love the tourists, okay? I'm usually not the person to complain about the tourists. I'm the one who'll be sitting on the bank of the Seine, and when the Bateau Mouche and the other tourist boats go by and the tourists are waving, I'm the one who will wave back, you know? I'm the one who, like, if I'm on the Pont Alexandre III or some other place where tourists are trying to take photos, and I can see that there's a family and they're trying to do a selfie and it's impossible, you know, I'm the one who's like, hey, yeah, just give me your phone, I'll take the picture for you. You know, so I like the tourists. I love their energy. I really feel like, you know, so many of them only have maybe a day or two, maybe if they're lucky, a week here in this incredible city. And so like, yeah, they're out of their minds. You know, they're like really in an elevated state of consciousness and just full of excitement and wonder and awe, and I appreciate that energy. But I really don't like the Champs-Élysées. This is my unpopular opinion. I really don't like the Champs-Élysées. I think, yeah, part of it is that, like, you know, it's like materialism. It's like ground zero for materialism, right? And like, I hate to be judgy, but you know me, like everything I wear is from the thrift store. You know, like I don't go shopping in these shops, you know? I mean, I suppose I should be grateful. Oftentimes, like the displays in the windows are really, really lavish and well thought out, and they're like a beautiful form of art in and of themselves. Like, so there's that. And two, every time I go to this Basique Feet, I stop at, there's a L'Occitane location right next door. So I stop into L'Occitane and I use their tester and like take some of their hand cream like every time I go to Basic Fit. So my hands are doing great. But like, the other part of it. It's not just the materialism and like the foreign shoppers who are like carrying their shopping bags with, you know, their orange Hermes shopping bags, etc. Like, also, like, I am a bike commuter, and when I am going down to the center of town here, you see that? When I'm going down to the center of town, I often have to take the Champs-Élysées. There is a nice bike lane, although it's all cobblestones. Going into town, it's not as much of a problem because it's downhill. Coming back, though, that hill. Well, let me just say, I'm just working on getting used to that hill and the cobblestones. Anyway, the real problem, though, is that these tourists don't even see the bike lane. Like, they don't I mean, they're coming from all over, right? From where they're coming, they might not have bike lanes, right? And so, like, they do have a tendency to throw themselves in front of me when I'm biking. And that is dangerous, and I dislike it. And you know me, I've got my bell. It's legally in France, you're supposed to have a bike bell. And I'm like ringing my bell. I'm like, attention, attention, you know? And like, I get it. They've waited their whole lives, and it is the day where they are on the Champs-Élysées. This is a bucket list thing. They're out of their minds. They're not looking around, or if they're looking at anything, it's like at Christian Dior or the Arc de Triomphe or Cartier or whatever. Right? I get it. But like, it can be exhausting to always have to be super vigilant biking down to the Louvre, which I do often because, you know, I'm du Louvre and I go a lot. And just you know, always ready to slam on my brakes because the tourists are gonna like throw themselves in front of me. You know, and sometimes the French tourists who are coming in from Provence, so the French tourists who are coming in from outside of Paris, like, the laws are different in their little town, and in their little town, like, pedestrians can do whatever, you know, and it's always understood that a pedestrian has priority. That is not the law here. And they don't understand that. The law here supports a bicyclist if the bicyclist has the right of way as established by the light. But they don't understand that because they're just from some other town that has some other laws. And so they can be the worst because then they start to like talk back at you and mock you. Like you're being unreasonable and they have the right of way. So like this huge dose of entitlement. Yeah, I could do without that. Trying to think, like, what else did I want to say? My other unpopular opinions. Well, I think I've talked for long enough. So, that's it for this week. Allez, bye, ciao.